see. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Ladies
saying
and
anything.
gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the Truthseekah Podcast. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm back. I'm back. People have been messaging me, "Where you been? Where you been?" And the truth is, I haven't really felt led to have a lot of conversations lately. I've been studying a lot. Been laying in the grass, staring at the clouds, staring at the sun. Just doing my thing. So
As it
having
should.
to put content out sometimes becomes a hassle. Even doing a podcast, I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to lay here and gaze at the clouds. And literally, it's the little things in life that are amazing. But we're here, so um, I got a message on Instagram from somebody who was thanking me for my music and things like that, telling me they enjoyed it and say, you know what, let's do a podcast. Let's talk. Let's hang out and capture it on air. Those are the best conversations. That I love when people get to see people connect for the first time and on a podcast. And there's been so many of those over the years, over 500 and like 30 something episodes, and a lot of those were first time conversations, and many of those people became friends. So it's fun to go back through the catalog and look at that genuine connection. So today my guest is Agua. Agua, welcome. Did I
Aguis.
pronounce it right? I feel like I'm messing it up.
Aguis.
Aguis,
Yeah.
welcome, welcome.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
a
learn.
like a gender neutral term for agua.
There you go. Um, Your music's awesome. You said you are appreciative and a fan of my stuff, and like attracts like, and your music's amazing too. You have great music.
Thank you very much. Um, yeah, I love making music. I used to live in Miami, and at the time I was working at like Chipotle, but like my main escape was music, just like listening to music or going to the beach and like bringing my guitar and like doing music there. I think that that's when I like really fell in love with it because like I needed it. And now that I know that I need it, I know that I can't do anything without it. Even if I chose to like go down a different path of like being a teacher or something like that, I would always be doing music. So thank you. That means a lot to me because it really is a part of who I am.
You said was so. We thought we were live a while ago. We weren't. We were talking, and you
Mm,
mentioned one of my songs that had an impact on you. The Gateway to the Seer
Gateway.
Realm remix.
The remix. Yes.
So were you
I think
listening before that, or is that your introduction, or?
I think no, that was not my introduction. I think I was introduced to you by like accident. I heard like synchronicity with you and Illuminati Congo. I think it came up in like my recommended, and I was listening to it while I was doing like a delivery job, like a pizza delivery. So I listened to a lot of music, and it just like I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is cool. I see a lot of numbers and stuff. Synchronicity, yeah. And then I think like a few months passed, and then I was like, oh wait, this artist is cool. Oh wait, he does synchronicity. That's cool. And then I literally fell in love. I remember one day I was very anxious. I didn't know exactly like what to do, and I was like, oh, I should like meditate, right? Because like that helps with your mind. I had like an hour left before I had to go into work, and I was like, I don't want to go in feeling like this. And I remember I just like laid on my floor and I put on the album 333 and I just like let it play. And I just listened to that instead of meditating. I just like let myself listen to it for like an hour. And then afterwards I was like, okay, I feel like I'm okay to go to work. But it was really like an experience, just like laying down, listening to it without any distraction, just soaking it in.
Heck yeah.
And I think that's when I truly connected with your music because after that experience with the 333 album, I couldn't, well, I don't know. I just love your music.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's a special album, and it's cool you say that, and you got to listen to an album in its entirety. There's this weird thing about are people even listening to albums anymore and stuff like that, and just put out singles. But
Oh,
when you can kind of cultivate that journey, obviously we try to do that in songs, right? But then when it's
mm.
like, hold on, we're gonna give you an hour journey, so
You know, that's something I was thinking about recently was like I love listening to albums in their entirety because I feel like they tell a story. in a way that singles can't do. Like, for example, Melanie Martinez Portals. I saw that you posted it on Instagram. I was like, oh, I didn't know you like Portals too, because I love that album. I started making like little books for albums that I liked, and I can show you this one really fast. I forgot that I had it on me. Give me just
Yeah.
one second.
Oh, for sure.
Because I don't know, nothing touches like an album because you really get like a glimpse into the artist's soul. So I did this, it says Immortal by Design, and this one is about like the I'm not used to all the water love.
Mm.
This one is when she talks about like the moon cycle.
Wow.
This is the other one. I forget which song it was on. This is when she talks about like the horns on my head are from goddesses.
Yeah.
I My coworker showed me that album and I was like, I'm not really a fan of Melanie Martinez. But then I listened to it and I was like, I really resonate with this like so much, like so incredibly much. And it's crazy because it's like you don't really know how much you like an artist until you're like, oh wait, I feel like this was made for me. That's how I feel with Melanie.
Mm. No, that's good. Yeah, that album is amazing, and all the pain, and I think psychedelic
Yeah.
journey was involved in making that. I think my wife told me she was like sitting in a room or something, and I don't know, a lot of the stuff coming to her on a journey. I can't verify that that's how some of that stuff came, but the mushroom theme throughout the album by Melanie Martinez Portals, and I want to say that so people know, because the reason I shared it is because
Melanie
like
Martinez Portals.
people need to go, people need to listen to that album, especially if people are a fan of my work and stuff like that. Like it's good to promote other people, and something like that can fall to the wayside and people never hear about it. But that's a gem, man. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, dealing with death is a big crazy concept.
Oh
I
yeah.
was I was reading through the book of Job, um, and just getting these wild downloads and stuff, and breaking down the true meaning of a lot of the words, and it was just blowing my mind about making your way literally through portals,
Mm,
and through the void, and then like it
right.
was just this
Well,
really
do you
deep.
know the story of the album? Like,
Yeah.
do you know the story of it?
Well, I
How it's
know
like
about the
Crybaby.
death of Crybaby.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So that's good that you understand that. Yeah. I think that's insane, especially
Yeah.
with like people talk about like the inner child. I think that Crybaby was like a form of like her inner child that died, or something along those lines, like some sort of innocence that maybe innocence that died or an actual like tangible life that died. But either way, it's still like
Yeah, they
what?
ever said something about she had a bad breakup with
Mm,
her boyfriend for a while, and he was abusive or something like that, or just real toxic, and so there's a lot of those songs directed at him. But we had just lost somebody very very close to us in the physical, a couple
mm,
people actually, and over the last couple years, and it's been really hard. So asking the bigger questions about death instead of trying to avoid them and stuff like that is has been a journey, and it is a journey for all of us. But that album was
yeah.
like, I was listening to it and I was like, oh man, making your way through the void took me
The
over, and I'm
void.
going through the blackness,
Yeah.
but
Well,
dying in order to be reborn. That album,
like the serpent eating its tail.
exactly.
See, it's I've been through the same thing. I've had a, a few losses this year, a few losses last year, but the loss that struck me the most, and that has been that I kind of just have to live with, is my grandfather that passed away on my birthday. And I got the Ouroboros tattooed on my stomach a few years later on my birthday, just to remind myself that like it is a cycle, like life is death is life is death, and it all comes back to eat its tail kind of thing.
Yeah,
So I 100% relate.
there's high significance of him passing on your birthday. Like that's interesting. My my uncle died on my brother's birthday, and
Oh, no way.
yeah, there's this weird like passing of
That's
the
crazy.
torch, or watch being able to watch over you or live through you, and kind of like give you all of their good stuff when they pass. Anyway, but the the days that they die and it is more significant than the days that they're born. It's very strange.
Right.
It is something you trace all throughout the Bible. All of the Catholic saints and stuff that are over certain days. Like there's a saint or really an energy that is over each day, and so they venerate it
Mm,
through iconography, through a person, which it's not the person, is what that person represented. But most of them have been given their days that are over the day that they passed. And so that's their day where they commune with them, where they're like their
mm,
energy's here. But it's always here, but that's when they honor them over that day. So, real interesting death, right? To dive into these different concepts in the way that it's mourned or celebrated, or this transition or passing of the torch, but
mm.
more so that we haven't lost anything, right? Like they're still with us, and if we can, I mean, Melanie's song "Death" is literally about that. Like you're burning
Yeah,
sage and lighting candles to try to contact me, but then when I show up, you scare, I scare you, and you
you're
run off.
scared.
Like I was in tears listening to that song at the concert, like listening to it. And it's just I'm just sitting there crying, and I'm like, I'm gonna try not to cry. And then my
Oh.
wife looks over. I'm just like trying to smile at all these people, and but I'll tell you something
Yeah,
even more crazy.
that what?
A dude died during that song at her concert in
What?
Atlanta. Yeah,
No,
it
at the concert
was.
you were at?
Yes, yes,
Whoa,
but
what did they
they
do?
revived him. the dude
No
turned
way!
the dude
Oh
turned
my
purple,
God.
man. Like it was wild. Yeah, it was.
What?
Everybody was
So
trying to get her
this
to
is like
stop the
this
concert and
is like
stuff. It was,
real.
but
Do you
like
think like
the
maybe the
significance
energy in
of
the
the first
concert?
song, "Death,"
Mm,
and a dude dies, and we're like, who's gonna help him? They couldn't. Like it was a wild ordeal.
mm,
The staff, like they
mm.
didn't know what to do, so this lady next to me ran over there and like started giving him CPR, and I was just like tapped into the spirit, just trying to speak to his body
Yeah,
and stuff, and
yeah.
yeah, but it was scary. Like his daughter was with him, and it was just him and
Mm.
his daughter, and this little girl's crying, and dude turns purple. It's like, oh, this dude's dead. And he's
And they were
just like,
supposed to be having like a good time. Like that's crazy.
yeah, but he comes back. He came back. He was
Back from the
revived,
dead, back from the dead. I'm
right?
back from the dead, back from the dead. That's crazy. I was gonna say, do you think that maybe like the energy in the room or just like the music being played that automatically has like that spiritual aspect helped in that scenario? Or do you think that maybe it was too much and caused him to be overwhelmed, ergo like passing out, almost dying?
It is real creepy because you're like, oh, this is weird. We're talking about death and somebody, but people die every day, and so
Mm,
who knows? I know that the thought of death, and the energy and rebirth was strong there. So much so that
yeah.
tears were flowing, through the audience, and then hope was in the atmosphere of people seeing Melanie who look up to her and stuff like that. And it was just a magical experience. But yeah, the fact that he came back is very good.
Yeah.
But have you seen her? Have you seen her live? Was you able to catch her?
No, I haven't. My coworker did though. The one who introduced me to her music.
Yeah.
She saw her live and she said it was a really good time. That's good.
Oh yeah. She played the whole album.
Oh, nice. I've seen like videos and stuff of like her dancing and the outfits. Man, people are obsessed with her outfits. They'll be like, she wore this one to this venue. She wore this one to that one.
It's a cool
I
outfit.
think it's yeah, it's cool. I like the whole like fairy theme she's going for. It gives in the mask, it really like gives like, oh, this isn't Melanie. This is like someone else. This is like an alien that died and came back and did all this stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, my wife and daughter made. I think they made the ears. They had the ears and
Mm,
makeup and wore all dressy, pretty glittery dresses and earthy dresses and stuff. Yeah, it
cool.
was a fun experience. Um, but the cool thing is, just like Melanie and me, that we get to pay it forward, and you do too.
Mm,
Like the energy, the this the music being a soundtrack to somebody's life, death, spirituality, right? And then
Or even like a metaphysical death, like, oh, this part of me doesn't exist anymore.
for
That
sure.
happens through music a lot. I feel like music is like a guide in some ways.
Yeah, and now you're a part of that. Like somebody's, it's weird to fathom. It's still weird for me to fathom. And even talking to you, and you're like, oh, your music, like, you know, because I'm thinking of what people's music does for me, like Melanie Mart. Like that album is amazing. It's next level.
Right.
But there's been so many more, and to think that other people listen to your work and they have that experience and through your work and through your pain and through your emotions and through your
Right.
you know trying to formulate songs and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful thing to be able to pay forward, if you will.
Hmm. I think it really connects you to the other person in like a very different way. Um, because like people listen to music to get through anything. They listen to music to get through like a breakup. They listen to music to get ready to like go to the club, you know what I mean? Like music, it's quite literally like the soundtrack to our lives. Without music in like our modern world, I have no idea what would happen. I feel like people would lose their minds because it like in some ways when you can't feel your emotions, music feels them for you. And to have that connection with somebody else to be like, oh, I can feel my emotions through you. Like that's something that like nothing can take that away. I feel like um
Yeah, it's
crazy.
it's magic. Like music is magic. It's more powerful than we know. I'm
Mm.
experiencing a lot of things where like I'm seeing the dimension multi dimensional aspects of my music to where I wrote it to mean one thing, and then I'm able to, like, months or years later, like those
You find
things,
the other.
yeah, you get to see how deep they really are, or they come to pass, or maybe I said something tongue in cheek or whatever, and then it's like, oh no, this is the depths of it. I would,
Yeah.
write about the saints visiting me in my dreams and stuff like that, and I meant it in a way to be poetic, and I meant it in a very shallow way, if you will. It's deep, right? The saints are just inspiring me, or maybe I meant Elijah or something like that. But then you step into a whole new level to where like I'm in a place now where the saints are coming back to me, just to be like visiting you and like wild stuff, giving you downloads and
Yeah.
impartation. And I'm not seeking it or
It
studying or
just
trying
comes
to
to
do it,
you.
but I did write it. I and put the song out there that it's like, oh, the Saints are visiting you? Yeah, they are. It's like, oh, now what?
Mm.
Let's get creative with our mantras. Our
Mm.
let's be mindful of what we say. But I want that. Like I'm cool with it. It's good stuff for me, But it's deeper. You meant it one way and it comes back to visit you in many different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's one thing they say is that whatever you say, you can't take it back. But people don't really say like whatever you say, like it can change over time. Um, the meaning of it. So it's a good thing that you can't take back what you say because it's like you said, like sometimes like the words have to marinate or oh maybe you'll have like a different experience. Um, I know I can relate to this because I talk uh, I don't know if you know this or if you're aware of this, but like in my generation, people are like obsessed with angels, like angel numbers, and like biblically accurate angels. Like they'll post videos of them on TikTok and be like, "Oh, they're so beautiful." My friend, he has a clothing design, and he made this. I don't know if you can see it, but like he is heavily inspired by angels. Hold on, he made this. It has like angel wings. Can you see it?
Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, heck
Heavily
yeah.
inspired by angels. And I was like, yeah, angels are cool. Angels are beautiful. Well, one day in meditation, I realized, oh, they're not so beautiful because they visited me. Well, they are beautiful, but they were terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And this happened very recently. Like, I'm talking like last month was the first time I ever saw one. And it was the opening, I think, with the wheels within the wheels. And oh my gosh, when I tell you those eyes and those wheels were freaking staring at me. And I didn't really know what to do about it or to say much about it. But I was like, okay, well, obviously, um, angels are real. Like I hear about them in your music, and I don't doubt that you've had those experiences as well. Um,
And even more as the days go by. You write it one way, and it's like, oh God, this I didn't know they were terrifying. That like you
no,
experienced.
really, yeah. What happened was like I was closing my eyes at the time. I was living in a house where like the water was out and the heat was out, so I didn't stay there because it was like sweaty and you can't wash yourself because like the water was out, the AC was out. So I was staying at my parents' house and I was like, man, I feel so ungrounded. I just need to like meditate. And so that's what I did. And then I saw them and I was like, this is not what I needed right now. But I guess it is. Um,
So
I was just
how'd you
looking for
see him?
some
You
peace
saw
of
him while you were
mind. But
meditating?
yes, so what happens when I meditate, if I ever get like a vision or like something's trying to tell me something, my eyes will flicker as if I was like dreaming, but I can't control it. It'll be like uncontrollable like flickering.
While
And so
you're
that's how I know that
meditating
it was
or while you're
while I'm meditating.
okay.
So that's how I know that whatever I'm receiving isn't just from my imagination.
It
It's like
gets
something that I'm
it's like a
receiving.
deeper level of the meditation, right?
Mm. Hmm. So that's when I saw it. I saw like a big line. It was like a line of the wheel, and it was like the eyes opening. And then I was like, "What? That's weird." But I guess I didn't think that. And then it like zoomed out, and I saw like all of these like eyes and the wheels moving. And I was like, "Oh, so like they took me in, and then they took me out." And I was like, "Oh, so this is that." And then I opened my eyes because I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I just tried to go to sleep after that because I was like, "Okay, I don't really know." I researched them for a little bit prior. I know that they're like the Watchers, I believe, the Ophani. I feel
Well,
like you would be more
yeah,
well versed in
there's a
that.
bunch of different types of. They're all watchers, essentially, right? They're watching over. If you have levels, right, there'll be a watcher on every level that's watching over the people or the angels or the animals
Mm,
under them. So, yeah, there'll be watchers, and they watch us. They watch over us, and but yeah, um, I think I'm experiencing that. I've never seen a humanoid entity.
like the human with the wings.
Yeah,
Like you've never seen that.
I've never seen one that looked like a person, except one time it was just a silhouette. Like I've seen silhouettes of people like with my eyes
Mm,
closed, but that's it. Like the inner visions, but even with my eyes open, those are the ones I. You got to learn to see them both ways. When you learn to see them with
mm.
your eyes closed, and then you'll learn to see them with your eyes open. It kind of works hand in hand. But I've never seen like a
I've
humanoid.
never seen them with my eyes open. I've only seen them tattooed on my friend's shoulder with my eyes open. That's pretty much it.
But yeah, they are scary. Yeah, they're it's because they're big and they you think they're gonna look like you, like another person or something, and they could
Right.
because they show up as people too that you don't even know. That's the interesting part. But when you're able to see them in I guess their regular forms, they look like what you're describing, like just something that just like that your mind can't even comprehend, kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, even when I think back to it, I can't like picture exactly what I saw. I can picture the image of what I saw, but it's not exactly the same. Um,
Have you seen my Merkaba video that I've filmed?
no,
The
I haven't.
Merkabas that come in like to the sun and giving stuff to the sun and stuff. Yeah,
No.
yeah. I've been catching a bunch of these things on camera. I've been. That's just like I said. What have you been doing? Why ain't you been podcasting? Well, I've been sitting under the sky and clouds, sun, and then filming and then
Mm.
editing the video and slowing it down and zooming in and changing the gamma. Then you can see them in the different lights and stuff. So I've got like all of these different types of craft or angels or whatever caught on camera,
Mm.
and some of them, all of them are just mind blowing. Like if they held a
That is
form,
so
that's one thing.
cool. So
It's
they
pretty
let
wild.
you see them. Like that's them like allowing you to see them because they can change their form and hide themselves, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like I've been in this for a long time, but um, I've never been like I would say allowed to film. You know,
Mm,
it's just you have to be in the moment, and then you go grab your camera. You know, so hold on, this is like a spiritual. We're teaching you. There's an impartation, and you just want to go film us and show people. You know, kind of thing. So you had to get to the I'm at the place now where I've been able to see them during the day and be able to go back and kind of scrub the footage. And it hasn't been like a one-on-one like kind of thing. It's just like they're there and
mhm.
learning to see them do their jobs on many different levels. The ones that are down here with us, and then many that are, you
That's so
know,
cool.
the size of the sun, flying around the sky. And
Right.
yeah, and they're
I'm
they're like
definitely gonna
so
check out that
fast that
video.
you couldn't your eyes can't really perceive them unless they want you to. So they'd have to
Mm,
so you'd have to make a heart connection or a meditation connection for them to stop long enough for your eyes to focus and see them. If not, it'll we see them all the time, but they just look like blurs. Like just
huh.
hey, that was what was that? A bug? Was that a oh? There's like I saw a bright light flash. That's
Or
them.
like, oh, I thought I saw something. Whoa,
If you was
okay.
to set up a cell phone that's able to record fast frame rate and then change the light settings and slow it down, you'll see next level wild stuff. Like
Hmm.
not only in your house, but around the sun, in the sky, any kind of light. And you change the light and you'll tap into a different dimension or frequency of angels just by changing the color of the light that you have. The angels
Mhm.
that are drawn to that or travel through that as a portal. Yeah, and that they're a lot closer to us than we think, and it's not rare.
Right.
We think it's rare. It's rare because we're not paying attention. The moment that you ask and you sit still long enough, like you did in meditation, and you saw
Mm,
one, you start learning patterns and what to look for because it's in the nuances, so that the majority of people wouldn't even recognize, that this is something divine.
right.
And it's
And
not
it,
it's crazy because it's not something divine or supernatural. It's natural. It's more
mm,
natural than like death is more natural than life. Like that realm is
right.
older than this. You get what 80 years if you're lucky, whatever 120, whatever the number is.
It's true.
You're
People just
talking
think that
about
it's
a realm
unnatural
of
because that people just think it's unnatural because they haven't experienced it or they don't believe that it is natural.
yeah, yeah. It's not natural to them because they have
Right.
to like I'll say the government or whatever has to do things to hide this from us because it would freak
Right.
people out or they would be like me or us and try to contact them through meditation and with their cell
But you
phones
can't
and
really hide it if you accidentally come across one through meditation. Like they can't really control your mind at that point.
yeah, because of the state of the earth and the cries of the hearts of the people
Mm,
where that connection is being activated even deeper. And people who would never talk about this stuff or have these experiences are now becoming experts in angels and things like that, and they've been able to tap in and receive messages. We're living in some amazing times. The veil is very thin right now,
mm,
or maybe it's always been thin. We're just now being attuned to pay attention.
right.
Because some people don't. They carry on with their life and don't want to think about that kind of stuff.
Right. But I feel like that would scare me.
What to see them?
No, to carry on like as if everything was like to choose to not see,
Yeah,
you know.
because some people are having
It's
to choose and pretend. That's not what I saw. I don't. No, no, no. What was it? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You don't want to know? I want to know.
right.
I'm like,
Like you don't see because you don't wish to see. That's a line from one of my favorite movies. You don't see because you don't wish to see.
there was a
I remember my father was a pastor and something he would always said was like he who had eyes to hear, eyes to see and what is it?
ears to
Ears
hear.
to hear. Yeah. I was like, mm-hmm, that's kind of true, Dad. That's kind of true.
right? Because that's I was just thinking about that scripture today, because with
Mm.
that being said, that means some people don't have the eyes to
Eyes to
see
see and ears to
and
hear.
ears to
Yeah.
hear. They don't. You can't make somebody see. They have to
Mm-hmm.
be able to develop the sense, or open their eyes, or awaken, if you will, to a different
Right.
reality.
Right.
But it's fun. It gives hope. You know that
Mm-hmm.
this place is temporary. But so while we're here, let us be good watchers over what we've been given, so we can be promoted to be one of them.
Right.
And then the next one, I don't know what them are. Those them could be universes. Like, some of them are huge. Some of them are like, our minds can't comprehend what they are. Just say that.
Mm.
It's the whole, zooming in on a speck, and then it opens up to something so much greater. And then it's
Right.
fractals, right?
Mm.
Fractals that are traveling universes.
Yeah. And in my research, I found that I can't remember like which hierarchy of angels they were, but one of them guarded like dimensions, like entire dimensions, and that kind of ties into what you're talking about. That like um we perceive one thing, right? But we can't even comprehend another level of existence. But even that we can't comprehend is being watched over and guarded. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, there's levels to it. It's a like, it's almost like a preparation. Like, Earth is a school, to come to learn, and to be evaluated, to see if you're up for
yeah,
the next task or whatever. To be a good steward of it. I mean, that's what the whole idea of fallen angels are. They're watcher angels who quit watching, who let the people or the things under them hurt themselves, or hurt others, really. And then so they get demoted, and then the ones under them get to take their place.
get to rise. Yeah.
And so, just
Mm.
as ascension, you have descension, fallen angels, and then other beings get promoted. I know that's why I'm
Right.
here. I'll say that. It's kind of hard to project why everybody's here and who everybody is, kind of thing. But I think many people resonate with it. It sounds scary, especially coming from the Christian background of ascension and fallen angels and Nephilim and stuff like that. But um, we're not just human.
Oh yeah,
We're
for
not
sure.
like, we're angelic and demonic. We have like we have animalistic nature that is capable of some pretty nasty things, some dark things, and so we have to fight that and wrestle it out of us, and apply, I would say, the fire of God, the Holy Spirit, many different names for it, to purify oneself, to get the impurities out. And once you do, and you stay on that path, then you start sitting at different tables, and those tables are filled with angels.
Mm.
You have different friends in high places,
Right.
and they introduce themselves to you. You get to see them, let you film them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, check that video out. It's like 500,000 views on Facebook. Like,
Dang.
went viral. People are like watching it in tears, watching the video
Wow.
and stuff. So it's like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. I was like, hey, I want to show
Yeah,
you some footage.
they definitely wanted you to do that then. Definitely wanted to be seen. Maybe maybe like the rise and like the popularity of angels being like a bit of a trend. Maybe they see that and they see that it's like derealizing them, making them seem as if they're not this real powerful thing. So maybe that's why they wanted to be seen, or maybe just for the sake of being seen. I don't know.
No, I believe it. The vibration, if you will, of the planet, the frequency of the planet shifting. And so they see that. They see the collective as they zoom out. They don't just see
Mm.
a house, one house, or even one person. They see a city. They see a nation. They see a planet. And that's when they show up, when the vibration changes of it, if they're needed, if you're calling their name, even if you don't know their name, but your heart's cry is simply help, God help us, whatever the case is. And I think that's what we've went through recently.
Mm.
And a lot of good souls, good people were, um, you know, they died. Let's say that. A lot of good people died recently. And those souls ascend up, and the angels take notice, and they ascend back to God's throne, and they say, hold on, why is all of these? Let's go check on what's going on. Who's supposed to be watching the earth?
While they're gone,
Who's
yeah.
watching them down there? Because all of their good people are dying. Like, what's going on? And so they show up with energy, and guess who they come back with? Just like the Bible says, the ones who died get to revisit and come back and reincarnate, whether, or it's not, the word reincarnate's not in the Bible, but the word resurrect is. They get to
Right.
resurrect and come back and visit their families. The Bible says that. And teach. So your grandpa's not dead. Your grandpa's here.
I mean, mentally I know that, but physically it gets a little bit difficult. So
It's because we sense it differently. We sense it because we want to see it in the material. Um, he's not going to look like a person. That's the thing.
mm,
Get that out of your head of, what they look like. Even, you hear stories. Now he'll come to you in your dreams as a person, that kind of thing. But if you to see him in his energy and the essence around you, it has to be able to bend and morph and show itself
so I don't freak out.
with the environment. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's the song Death. You
Yeah.
cried and you want me to come back, and you're burning sage and asking me to come back, but when I do, you get freaked out because you think I'm going to look like a person. It'd be different. Comes, oh, he's sitting here, and I've seen many spirits, demons.
Mm.
All I'm talking about in the physical. I've seen them. None of them look like people. The most humanoid or thing that you can resemble was some type of negative entity that a warlock summoned that
Mm.
showed up, and it looked like a camel, but it was black,
Interesting.
like blacker than the darkest of night. Other than that,
So
it's
he could come in even through like a book.
oh for sure,
Oh,
yeah, yep. You reading that book is bringing the memory of that person back because it's a reward for you to want to read a book. If and I'm saying that if the person's not here, right? If the person has
right.
passed, and so their the energy's free game of what they represented and what they carried. And if nobody wants to read their book, to buy their book, if nobody wants to sing their song, then they get forgotten until the people show up who are like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we want the angels back." No, no angels, no angels. It's a rare occurrence you see an angel. It's
Oh, they're
very
just make
no. I don't know
believe.
about that. I think anytime I look at things a little bit differently, I'm able to see a deeper reality in it. And
Mm.
so that becomes the new normal because this
Yeah.
used to be normal.
Mm. I think I believe that like humans, we like you said that angels don't come in humanoid like vessels, but I believe that we can be vessels like that of an angel to be like a watcher.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And
in
I'm
ways that
I'm
we
just
can't
saying that
control.
in spirit form, like as far as like a silhouette of like you can see
Oh,
just like in the movies. You know how it's like
right, right, right.
somebody comes back to visit you and they look just like them, but yeah, in other bodies, and that's what we are.
Mm,
Star seeds. There's a star that existed in the heavens in the celestial realm. That's what that word is in the Bible. The word heaven is
mm,
celestial, and so it's Jesus was born and his star appeared. Like this is a closer to
And it's
home than we thought.
like our like our stars are all mapped out the minute we're born. That kind of thing. That could also tie into.
Yeah, but stars fall. Stars burn out. New stars are
True.
birthed out of nebulas. Stars turn into planets. Planets turn into suns. That's ascension on a massive scale, and we are part of that. This planet needs some more light, and then
Mm,
the planet's ascending, and it's getting the wicked stuff out of here.
right.
That's why we're being birthed into this realm. So yeah,
Mm,
you'd be an angel. I mean, it's the same science, but we're stuck. We're like in prison in a body
mhm.
until you go to sleep.
You can't really float around and do all the things that your etheric body wants to do while you're awake and just walking around.
Until you learn how. I think there's a lot of ways to work with the energy, but we forgot, and so we're like starting over, and it comes with
Right.
responsibility. It comes. I mean, there's a lot of the iconography of like the Catholic saints and stuff. It was reported those guys would hover around the city, like they learned how to levitate. Um,
Hmm.
the nun, Saint Teresa of Avila. I did a video on her, but she would have all kind of mystical experiences with. She had an angel come to her with a spear that was on fire and stabbed her in the heart. Like nobody could see it, but she saw it coming to her and stabbed her in the heart, and then it like
Opened it up.
yeah, like
Wow.
healed her heart, and she just
Have you
joy and
ever?
crying, and she starts screaming just
Mm,
random. Like what happened? You didn't see the angel come in the room? No, we didn't see it. He came over with a spear and stabbed me. And she would be so deep in prayer that she would be so disconnected from the physical realm, she'd start levitating, and she wouldn't wasn't even
right.
trying. But you better believe many of
Right.
the others were like, "Hey, how do we harness that? How do we let us try it?" And
No,
I think it's
exactly.
okay to try it, you know. But yeah, there's definitely reports of anti-gravity, working with energy, all of that stuff.
Mm,
Miraculous healings,
that's insane.
walking on
I
water.
also walking on water. What is it? Spontaneous combustion. I've also heard of that happening too, like
Yeah,
the opposite.
yep.
It's crazy. I think that we're so out of tune with what we are truly capable of because we think that like the only like our reliance on movement forward is based on technology, which is true to an extent. But our bodies are also capable of so many like incredible things. Like when you dream, you literally astral project every single night,
Yeah,
and
that
receive information that you probably didn't know you needed, but it helps you in your waking life. You know what I mean? Like even sleeping, like the simple act of sleeping is a spiritual experience.
it's
But a
strange
lot
to
of
think
people are so
about.
out of tune with that. Or people that reject things like you were saying, like the like things that exist but shouldn't exist, like levitating or that kind of thing. But they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I had a dream about you that was so weird." That's essentially like the same, not the same thing, but the same like realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's sciences and institutions and stuff in place where people are trying to remember um, all of this information and not even trying. Um, Many people are remembering it without trying to remember. They're just regular, well-to-do people, and then something gets activated in their DNA, and then they start remembering. You know, or having these crazy synchronicities and all kinds of stuff, being able to see things that other people can't. Have you heard of? There's a question here in the chat of
Ooh,
the Robert Monroe Institute, the Monroe Institute.
no, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah, it's essentially they tried to find these scientific methods to tap into the other realms, to find ways
Mm,
to, if you will, open up portals or to see beings, I guess, in other realms or ETs, things like that. So it's something that was done. I want to say in the 60s. I don't know the year, but they have this gateway project and all of these ways of working with binaural beats and playing two
mm.
different
To try to access
tones
different
in your ears
realms.
so that it like
Yeah.
messes up the rhythm. And yeah, there's some wild stuff and there's just people swear by it. And from what I've seen, I'm not an expert in Dr. Monroe, but from what I've seen, I like a lot of their stuff. It's interesting. So yeah, definitely check that out. The Monroe Institute. There's tutorials and sound recordings and stuff like that. And well, they did tests on it. Like it wasn't just theories. You know, they're like, we can talk about levitating, but this is an institution where they're like, hey, let's try to levitate, and this is what we're gonna do.
Mm.
And
Did
going
they
back through
show
sacred
tangible
texts,
results?
holy books, and stuff like that, and finding the nuances in there and trying it. So, um, yeah, that's what the Moreau Institute is. So, I'm not an expert on it, but that was from Purple Lover 77 on YouTube.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
But
I definitely have read about scientists doing something not so much similar, but the only thing I'm very, um, what is it called? Well versed in is like the study of scientists and plants, but not like, but more so proving that plants are alive and that they communicate with us. I remember one study was done where, um, this guy took care of his plant, right? Like it was his plant. The plant was used to his energy. Um, and what they would do was they would like, I think that they would like either like burn the man or cut him or something. They would like inflict pain on the man, and the plant would respond. Or the man, let's say he goes to New York City on like a trip. The plant would realize his absence and therefore like become like wilted. And um, um, what else? Or if you cut off like a leaf of the plant, it would become like, oh no, what happened was like a scientist would go there and be mean to the plants. He would like yell at them and cut off like the leaves. And so whenever that man walked into the room, the plants would automatically react. Like they, as soon as he opened the door and walked in, they would react because they knew that energy. Like they remember feeling like treated badly. Showing that, I don't know, that plants have intelligence and things like that.
yeah, and so we should be trying that. You know, there's people, and we are. You know, grounding is a science. Um, the Earth is our mother,
Mm,
and Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama, Eve, like all the names we come out of the earth or out of
we're
the
made of
dust,
clay.
the dirt, and the Father is the fire, is the sun, the the light of the world that lights every man that comes into the world and woman, right? Every sentient being, right, carries us that spark, and we breathe the breath, the same breath as as do the plants. We have a symbiotic relationship. We don't exist without each other. Like
Hmm.
the we release carbon when we breathe, and they release oxygen, and we both need each other to exist. Um, all of the different texts, including the Bible, there's the hidden goddesses all throughout there, and they're all commemorated, and they've been erased from all of the textbooks, all of history, but they're
Really?
commemorated, and we access them or her through the plants. All of your plants that have any form of medicine, medicinal, it's named after a goddess, and it
Mm,
does something that heals your body. every single one of them. Just all you gotta do is look it up, and it goes back to Ishtar, Inanna,
She was the
Asherah,
and, mm,
Diana.
Ashwa. Ashwa like ashwagandha.
Hmm. I don't know. We have to look up the etymology. Ashwagandha, Asherah. Hey, it definitely sounds very similar, but Asherah, a lot of them share different names in different cultures.
Oh, okay.
So in one culture, it would be Asherah, and then Asher, right? And then you read the Bible
I think
about
I've heard that one. I've
the
heard that
children of
one.
Asher,
Hmm.
all of this stuff, and it's like amazing and mind blowing. And she's like they're coming back. The mothers, there is no
Of
father
course, to read.
son without a mother.
Yeah,
You have to have
yeah.
a
No,
mother. You have
the
to
rise
have
of
a
the
son.
feminine is insane, and it is so incredibly real. Especially with the way that we've been treating the planet. Of course, she's going to talk back, whether that be through the natural disasters that she's doing. I know the water right now is going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have some songs about the sirens and stuff, right? The siren
Yes,
songs anyway, and
I'm very very connected to water. Very connected to water. That's my absolute favorite element. But with everything that's going on, people are doing stupid shit in the water, like stupid things, stupid things. Um, I saw this video of people. They were doing like backflips into the water off of like a boat. And I think especially now that like the spirits of the water are agitated, especially with like the submarine and things that are going on, like eating the billionaires or whatever. These people died. These people died doing fun things in the water. Like four people passed away from what doing a backflip into the water, which is like things that people do all the time. But I think that the water spirits are really, really talking back, being like, no, like stop, like respect. If you're gonna be in the ocean, treat me with respect, you know? Because like who knows how much of it we have left. But
yeah, no, there's a bunch of mentions of the marine spirits, and even Poseidon is in the Bible, and people would never know
mm,
that. You know,
the
Poseidon's
Leviathan,
mentioned.
yeah.
All of the water beings, and many of them are, mer people.
Mm.
And I know my students are gonna, they probably tired of me saying this, but this is one of them here. Let's see.
Hello, Starbucks.
Yeah, the Starbucks. Her name is Eshkada.
Is it really?
Yep. And
Mm.
she is mentioned in the Bible. And when you when you when you honor them, they honor you.
Mm.
Any and everything. When you draw a picture, just like even your friend made you drew the image of the angel, whether it was the personification of something he needed, or even if he made it up, you can make up your own. But the ancient ones, there's all of these tutorials that are in the Bible. This is what my work brings to the table to show people. They're trying to
I
call
feel
this
like you're really
demonic and
just
stuff, but
channeling it now.
there's literally tutorials that you're not gonna find unless they show you. I'm just gonna tell you
Mm.
straight up, you'll never see it. You got to be able to break words down, but even breaking words down, it's still open to interpretation. It has to be revealed to you, but
Mm.
it's already being done. It was hid from us. There's a reason why Starbucks chose that logo. There's a special reason, and it's to go back. And there's many of the serpent beings, but they're not just serpents. They're serpents that are mixed with humans. So they're a
Mm.
mixture of serpents and humans that live in the oceans. And this is going back to the earliest of times. And then the tutorials are telling you draw an image of them, go to the ocean, invoke their name, bring incense, all of that stuff. And then what do? They show up to bless you. The thing is not to worship it, not to cut yourself or kill animals. And like there's
Mm.
rules to
Mm.
engagement, and but it just seems like Christendom has been used like a weapon to even further, like, forget the feminine aspect of God and the mothers, and she's coming
Of
back,
course.
and she's pissed, and because her children are being hurt,
I
and
mean, look at the way we treat women in our society.
Yeah.
It's like that one Tupac song. He says, "Why do we rape our women? Why do we kill our women? Do we hate our women when we were all born from a
Yeah.
woman?"
Time to heal for our
It's
women.
like
Be
this
real for our
the
women.
thing that society wants the most is a woman to be beautiful, a woman to be this, to be that. But in reality, it's actually hatred because it's not what like the goddess truly is. And
Yeah, they had some warriors. They had some badass women, and they've
like
erased a lot of that. You know.
Kali, she's badass. I want her to come back. She's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot. And they're
I want
just
to see like the dark rage warrior feminine coming back. The light, beautiful, nurturing feminine. That's amazing as well. I love that. But I want to see that come back very
there's the
strongly.
dark ones too. There's the it's not you have to have all spectrums. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that we've been given the ministry of reconciliation. Is to reconcile people. Um,
Mm,
but I think we're to play reconciliation between the worlds, to reconcile the spirits of the past, to reconcile the nature spirits, the fire
mm.
spirits, the
The
air,
ancestors.
the ancestors. And how do you do that? By the same way they, just by reversing the way they did it to us, to be afraid and to be scared and to name call and to shame and and we're all doing a little piece of it, and I've simply done a large portion with my podcast, and it's just simply by having conversations with witches and with psychics,
Mm,
and they're like, Truthseekah, don't talk to the psychics, man. They'll get you, man. These people love Jesus more than you, and you'll never know it because you won't sit down and have a conversation. It's to take the
mm,
fear, to destroy this fear of this boogeyman they've created to keep us separated. Because what would happen if we were really well rounded? If we wouldn't just have all the men
right.
together, or all the women, or all the Christians, or all the Buddhists, that we can all come together and sit at the table and reason with our strengths and with our weaknesses. Because when we
Hmm.
come together, any business is run that way. Any, corporation, corpse is run that way. You need everybody. And so they've made us forget and be scared and kill, anybody
Mm,
who even remotely looks like or reminds them of those ancient ones. The
right.
witch
Because
hunts.
diversity is resilient. There's things that you just can't know if you're trapped in one bubble. Like you just can't experience them because everyone around you is exactly the same. But if you go and like you said, mix the pot a little bit, you become more yourself because you're around people that are more like themselves. You know? So I agree with that.
Yeah, that's why, like, when you're studying or taking advice, like, it's good to. I love the podcast and just where we are now, and not just the podcast, but you could just do this by your own studying. But and I have to say this in contrast with the church. I know your dad's a pastor and stuff, like
Ex-pastor.
ex pastor.
Yeah.
You got one person that's a know it all. They tell you anything you need to know. Oh yeah, the sea urchins. Yeah, there's no such thing. Or if they are real, they're demons. And okay,
Mm,
cool. Angels, yeah, angels are very rare occurrence. You don't really see them a lot. Angels, man, listen. Let me talk to somebody who's given their life to the study of the mer people,
mm,
and let's ask them because they've studied
right.
the good ones, the bad ones. If that's even a thing that you say, maybe they don't know the concept of good and bad. 'Cause I tell you, there's many spirits that are just neutral. There is no such thing with them. They have a job,
Mm.
they're programmed. So the fact that we can, talk to people, interview people, read their books, you
Listen
know,
to their music.
and then you're like, man, listen, I was scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. All you gotta do is do the research, and you got to go back to the beginning. And there's
Mm.
books. All of these are in books, and all of these are in nature. So we need to be
And it's like
sitting with the mother and
beautifully reflected back into each other and back into us. Like what?
No, I'm just so happy that it's coming. The mother's coming back. Spirituality's coming back. There's nothing you can do to
Mm.
stop it. And they're
Or stop
trying.
yourself.
They're trying to make us wear shoes.
Yeah.
They're trying to block the sun. Man, listen, we're connected.
Block the sun.
Yeah.
How?
There's global warming and stuff there. The sun is all the all of the other early religions venerated the sun as, if not God, a God, or the son of God.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Right, because it gives life to the plants, which
yeah,
gives life to us. Yeah.
it's the light of our world. There's
Mm.
no greater light than we have in this realm anyway, right? In our system. And so to disrespect it, it's all in there, but yeah, when you want to tap into your abilities, and they, you know, churches are like cathedrals and stuff. There's the old ones were designed of a certain way to awaken your psychic senses and to bring you into a vibrational frequency with God. And they used
It's
music and
beautiful.
colors and stained glass windows, and a light comes through it and all of that. But
The light. I love that the light physically comes through.
that's what it was
It's
for. But
beautiful.
let's do all those same things and go sit outside under the sun and do them. Go meditate under
Mm.
the sun. You ain't even got to look at the sun. Meditate with your eyes closed and look towards the sun when it's out.
I think I just might do that actually.
And just do this. Just say hello. How's it going?
Mm.
And I don't need to explain anything to you. Just go do it and be sensitive to the energy. And you're
And just
grounded
be
with your
very
mother.
warm
Sit on
under
the
the
ground
sun.
and look to your father. Man, listen, you don't need nothing nobody tells you at that moment. And that's why, they want us disconnected. But the energy is
Mm.
so strong right now that there's nothing they can do to stop it.
And why do you think it is that the energy is so strong?
Um, I don't know if it's just certain cycles, but I do think that because of what we recently went through, they hurt a lot of people, and a lot of a lot of people got rendered up, their energy, and
Oh,
um,
that's yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would
I remember
say,
now.
yeah, I think that has a big part to do with it. It wasn't until Jesus died that his spirit was lifted up to the Father. There was an earthquake when he died. And then the
Mm.
angels, the souls were released from the underworld that were trapped. And they came back and visited. And we're talking about the return of Christ. This is it. Christ is in us. And he's here. So they're trying they're killing Christ. Like they're persecuting
Mhm.
Christ. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean anything religious. I mean that which is beautiful. I mean the mother. I mean, everything that's going on. So when you do that, the
Like,
watchers take
okay.
notice, and not all of the watchers are bad. We got there's good. We got more that are for us than are against us. That if you go out there and you get under, it's a difference between you get in the sun and a wicked person gets in the sun.
Mm.
The sun exists as a teacher, consciousness. It is a watcher. The sun is watching you for 12 hours essentially a day before it makes its voyage to the underworld, and then the moon comes up and governs you by her light, the mother. And so
Mm.
there's different beings that come out of the earth. Literally, there's the nocturnal beings who they can't see in the sun. The sun hurts their eyes, and they come out at night. It's the same way
Right.
with
It's just how
so-called
they're designed.
so-called humans. There's
Or like with
people,
our dreams, because we dream in the nighttime. Like it's the
yeah,
same with us. Like we become like more like we go and do our thing in the night. You know.
yeah. It's and I don't think that one is good or bad or whatever, but there's different energies, right? It is masculine and feminine energy. You have to have both to create something. You have to have both working in unison. together, and they do work together. That's natural. That's nature. But it's only when you block that flow of nature, then you become a sinner, because you're
Mm.
blocking the synergy. You're blocking the flow of natural
It's like that
energy.
one. Okay, I'm gonna quote your music real
Go
fast.
ahead.
It's it can never be wrong when it feels so right. Like talking about going with the flow, avoiding sin.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would you avoid that? You know,
Breathe in and exhale. Yeah.
the breath of light.
Of the cosmic conscious of the cosmic Christ. Yeah. No, it is.
It
The
is,
energies of.
yeah.
That's why I'm telling you to go do that. Go sit in the sun, because
I'm going
it
to.
feels right.
I never thought about that before, actually.
Just find
That,
creative ways to tap into all of the elements, because they're all
mm,
inside of us too. We are, when you're talking about angels and things, angels are usually a combination of two elements. So you'll have a ether, like spirit and fire. You got a fire spirit. You
fire,
got
yeah.
spirit and water, marine spirit, right? Spirit and earth, the nature gnomes and things like that, fairies.
Yeah,
But
the
we
fairies.
are a combination of all of the elements into one. We are earth, air, fire, water, spirit that is solidified here and able to experience all of it. And we it is in us and outside of us. So we
Mm,
have a connection that has been cut off. So connect with God through everything, but also honor the servants. And what I mean by servants, they're here to serve. Their name tells you what they do. And look up the plants, trace it back to the goddess, say her name. She got something that's going to help you. She got something that's going to help you to sleep. If you can't sleep, there's a root that you can go chew. I think it's ashwagandha, to be honest with you. Um, I got some, but
I got some too. I
there's a
take my
bunch
gummies in the morning.
of plants that are here to assist us, and
Mm,
the scripture says that. The scripture says that, like, it's replete, and it ain't not just scripture, because it'd be like something new or something. No, it's everything says that.
mm,
And if the scripture don't say it, then the scripture is not in in the flow, in synergy.
yeah.
But it
There's no
does.
shot or like capsule you can take that can replace what the earth already gives us. Because it's there and we're here. It makes sense.
It's so I used to, I say used to, I say that because I don't really want to get emotional talking about it. But when I had the little cough, I say little, the big cough thing sitting, I don't want to say those words, but when I was getting sick, and it was bad, it was scary.
You were sick?
Yeah, from the thing that happened
Okay.
worldwide. I got real sick and I couldn't breathe, and every day I was losing breath and my lungs were
Wow.
tightening up, and it was like, and we had people dying like all around us,
Yeah.
and didn't know what to do, and mixed information, and me and my wife, but
The
we were
fear.
like, we had to like breathe together and stuff. It was
Oh my
scary.
gosh.
No, it was movie stuff, to be honest with. But I was
Yeah.
crying and stuff, and I remember being on a phone call with a friend of mine. He was like just praying with me, helping, trying to calm me down, pray me through it and stuff. And I'm like, man, I can't. Like each day, I could feel like I could breathe deep and feel there's a place where the breath would like cut off in your diaphragm. You could
Mm.
feel it. Like when you take a deep breath, you
Did
could
it have
feel
like
it.
it had like fluid?
Say it.
Is that what it was fluid? Is that what it was in your lung?
Possibly. I don't. Yeah, there was. I did. Yeah, there was a lot of that
Mm.
came up after, but like I could breathe in, and then each day it was less. Like I can feel the breath coming all the
Oh
way down in my
wow.
lungs,
Yeah,
but
that
then
must
the
that must have been
day
terrifying.
before it, I breathed, and it would I could feel it hit, and it wouldn't come, and then it would just like get lower and lower to where like these little, you had to make yourself take these little breaths to breathe. It was very scary. And that's all I'm trying to say. Um, and I was crying, and I didn't know, and they didn't give us any medicine at the, went check me out and was like, hey, just take plenty of vitamins and good luck. Oh, okay. And it was a scary ordeal. Lost taste, all that stuff. Anyway, the slap in the face and the awakening was that I didn't know that until I started researching pine trees that I have a huge pine tree in my backyard. And the pine is it's a biblical tree. It's a Sumerian tree. The apkalu, the healers and the sages.
My
And
grandparents, they planted pine trees for us whenever we were born.
the iconography is they're holding pine cones, which is energy, and the blood that the pine cones or pine tree, the sap, it heals respiratory
Your love.
infections. And if you have complications and trouble breathing, the pine sap and the pine resin opens you up to be able to breathe through the vapors. And don't take my word for it. Look it up. Um, but there's a
No, I believe
reason.
you with your story. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a reason, that it's in antiquity in this in the healers were literally there's carvings of them holding pine cones up. Like, what's the significance of the pine cone? And
See,
they
I
are
thought
the
that it was
actual
because it was related
healers.
to the pineal gland because it looked similar. That's what
Pineal
I thought that
gland.
it was for.
But it was a slap in the face that I was like begging for medicine, got none, thought I was gonna die. And I'm in
Mm.
here crying, people praying for me. I can't
The
breathe.
crying probably making the breathing worse.
And yeah, exactly right. And then the dang trees in my backyard, like bleeding my healing.
Yeah.
And because we're so disconnected from even
I
what's in
wonder.
our backyard, that's the thing. It was like, hold on, we gotta. What else? What else? So I still have times where I feel my chest to get tight or throat's hurting or whatever. I'll go and just give me some sap out the backyard, and I've collected and I'll burn it in the incense. I'll just eat it and just say thank you and tell the tree thank you. I don't just come and take, but I'm like, hey, thank you. Let me give you something.
Yeah.
Crystals, planting crystals around the tree and stuff like that for them,
That's
and
so beautiful.
just trying to reestablish that connection or relationship.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I know that that was a thing is because that's what the Native Americans who were here before, us, that's what
Mm.
they did, and that's
It's
what they
because like
used it for.
the
So
tree is you in a way, so of course it wants to heal you because you need healing kind of thing.
that's just one
That's
example.
so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I'm glad that you had that experience. Do you think that after that you feel more so connected to like the plant realm?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm.
For sure. Yeah, that was like it was like a rite of passage or initiation or it was an awakening. You had to have a
Mm.
wake up call. The alarm had to go off, and then now you become aware. Once you're awake, you're aware, and you're like, hold on, what about these other trees? What about this? And what about that? And so you start looking up the names and the etymology and what the Native Americans used, and everything's here for us. Everything. Free energy is here. The sun, it gives us free energy. The water gives us free energy. The
The air.
earth, like we ground our energy in the earth. Literally on the side of our house, there's everybody's house. There's a long copper rod that goes in to the earth to ground the energy into the earth. And so the
Mm.
bottom of our feet, the soles of our feet,
Do
we
the
can
same
ground
thing.
our
Yeah.
energy by by standing on the earth, or better
We
yet,
have like
sitting
another.
on the
What is
earth
that? What is the chakra called that's underneath your feet
underneath the feet. I'm
that
not sure.
connects deeply into the earth? I
I don't
forget the
know
name of
beyond
it.
this the seven. I just
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, I know that
They're
they're there. I don't know I don't know their names, but yeah, they go up and down and above. And different traditions have different numbers. But some of the stuff I'm diving into right now is Dr. Robert Gilbert. He's teaching a lot of that stuff, and he's talking about the eight chakras that go up. I'm assuming they correlate to an even number that go down.
mm, I know that they have like in our hands. I'm reading this book about them very slowly because it's a rather large book. But it talks about how like the heart chakra connects to the hands, like the hands are portals and it's connected through this. So it's like, say like you touch someone's hand, that's like your heart's touching or something like that. Or some people have the ability where if you touch something, you can receive like psychic information from it, and that's coming from what?
Yeah.
The heart space.
No, everything's coming from the heart. Yeah. That's your true essence, and like all of the centers of the chakra points, having them in alignment and in balanced, as far as like, you don't want to be out of balance. You don't want to be, but with the hands, um, the right hand is the positive side, as in a positive side of a battery. So if you was to give or to send healing or send energy, you'll use the right hand. And so to receive energy, you'll use the left. So the left is always used with the negative, um, and to take and to receive. The Bible says, don't let the right hand know what the left hand is doing, like in order to
Right.
give and to receive. So that analogy is always going back, even to the early days, that the left hand was the evil side, the side that's only taking and not giving. And see,
And that's why they call it the left hand path.
that's when it
Yeah.
becomes evil, is for somebody to only take and not give. And so the energy is an exchange. It can't be destroyed. It just changes water, right? All of this is exchange. Water, the vapors go up, comes back down. It just changes form, but it continually comes back, and it connects and collects. So
In the words of Melanie Martinez, life is death is life is death.
one of the um, in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's all of these like tenets that say, like, I have not done this, I have not lied, I have not committed adultery, I have not done these things. Like, as you stand before the gods, but one of them is like, I have not dammed up a river. I haven't built a dam, because there's a flow of water, and then you're stopping this flow.
Mm,
And in antiquity, it wasn't looked at as something good, that for somebody to stop the flow of energy or the flow of water, because now you're stopping the flow of the people downriver
mhm.
drinking and from that river that the gods put there. And so it's
Right.
understood that the gods carved the rivers out, um, so that people can drink and that people can live and flourish by the water, and plant life can grow and all of that. But it's the stopping the flow of energy. So we want to make sure that our lives are in sync and in flow. And that's where synchronicities come from. You're in
Mm,
sync with the flow, and then you start seeing the connections. You start seeing numbers. You start hearing names. But when you're out of
mm,
flow and out of sync, you'll see them and you can't even recognize them, just because you're out of sync.
right.
But the flow of currency, energy, electricity. We're electrical beings. We're all of it, and we have everything that we need. So they can't. There's nothing they can give us or take away that they didn't, that we don't.
That we don't already have.
Yeah, we don't already have. We don't
Yeah.
need it. It's like, take it. Like, water's free. Just go out, literally go out, pray. God, can I have some water? Oh, sure. And
It will
you would,
rain.
and then hold your hands out, and we'll put a cup out there, and you'll get rain.
Yeah.
Collect it. Or if you don't have it, you can collect the dew at night. You gotta step into the childlike wonder of the things you thought you knew. Maybe say, maybe I don't, and just go outside and start trying to telepathically talk to the tree.
Hmm.
Make that connection, and then to the frog, and then to the bee. Don't know unless you
Right.
try. You're crazy. All of this, you're crazy unless it works. You're crazy, and then when it works, then you're a hero. It's like, oh, this person. When you're thirsty, hey, we want water. We need energy. They cut our power off. I can't afford energy. Well, you get free energy. positive and negatively charged ions in the atmosphere, you can collect them. And energy is free, but you have to have something, you have to have a conduit, you have to have something that's going to be able to hold the energy.
Right.
And those principles are true on every walk of life. Anywhere there's life, put it that way. But we did, yeah. Purple Love was saying, she said, I'm assuming it's a woman, I'm not sure. I said she. Um,
Okay.
yes, like I showed my daughter and niece and nephew that you can talk to water and it will respond to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a real thing. That is such a real thing. Or what I like to do is like last night I was watching like a TikTok video and it was like it was very tragic. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it was like these people trapped in the desert. They didn't have any water. So I grabbed this water bottle and I was like, "Thank you so much for like just hydrating me." It's like or like not even like that. Or if you like you're having a bad day, you speak into your water. Water holds memory. Like that's its thing.
Yeah.
Like there's there's a reason why like the secrets of the ocean are so ancient and deep because it holds the memory of that. So yeah, if you speak to your water 100%, yes, it talks back.
Yeah, we did the Dr. Emoto rice experiment where we put the rice in the water and
Mm.
spoke over it for 30 days.
Oh,
One
cool.
of them
How
we
did I
blessed,
say
and the other one we spoke negatively to.
it?
And
Right.
yeah, after several days, but it worked. It worked, and so much so that I didn't even want to joke around and say the negative stuff to the rice.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, this is. I don't want to speak that. I don't want
Mm.
to let that come out of my mouth because you can't take it back. That's all you can do is say I'm sorry. You can't take it back. Sorry, don't
Right.
take it back. You don't undo it. You already said it. You already did it.
Mm.
So we got to be watchers over our words.
100%.
And you'll find that out, which you already are, but your podcast, though, I'm not your podcast, your music will reach people and help people and heal people and encourage them.
Mm.
Such an honor. Yeah. But I have
I
fun
can't
hanging
wait to
out
put
with
out
you,
more
my
stuff.
friend. Riffing with you. Let people know where they could check out your music because they got to go check it out. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I'm on Spotify. I believe I'm on YouTube as well. I could send you the link so you can maybe put it in like the description for people to check it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And
We'll
also
put
check
it.
out his stuff because he's amazing. Coming from me, music enjoyer.
Cool, cool. Yeah, we will put it in the show notes and people go check it out. It's good stuff. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. It's been
Thank you.
fun.
It's been a dream.
All right, my friend. We'll do it again.
We covered some really cool topics that I didn't expect to be covering. I had it's funny, I had like an entire binder full of things that I've studied over the years regarding Kabbalah because I thought that's what originally we were going to be talking about because I've been studying it for like 2 years. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. But it turned out like I forgot it. I misplaced it. I don't know where it went. And I was like a little bit freaking out about it earlier because I was like, what am I going to do without my notes? But the conversation led elsewhere. And
Well, there you go.
maybe
Well,
we
I'm
could
no
talk about that
expert
another time.
at anything really. But
No, neither am I. That's all. I just would love to talk about it.
yeah, do you have any questions before we go? Um, about that or about anything just before we jump off here?
Um,
The funny thing about the Kabbalah stuff is like I don't particularly study a lot of it, but it's like naturally coming. Like the stuff
mm,
that I'm naturally being drawn to and led to, they're concepts that are Kabbalistic, which just simply means the early mystics
mm,
understood it and defined it and mapped out practices on how to bring somebody through that process, or at least try to ignite that within them, and that's happening naturally for a lot of people. That's the cool thing.
Mm. My first experience to Kabbalah was actually through music, and I think that that's why I'm so intrigued by it, was because it, like with you, it happened with me naturally. It was about like 2.5 years ago, maybe. My friend sent me this album, and she's like, "This album is really cool. She put like magic in it to help you visualize things." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I laid down, I listened to it, and like with intent, and that was when I first started experiencing like the eye flickering thing that I said. And then I come to realize, I was like, wow, this album had a really big effect on me. I wonder why. Well, I look back and I realized that the artist made a song for each of the Sefiro, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Hmm.
Like invoking that specific energy into the song. I think the album was originally named Kabbalista. Since then, she has changed like the title of everything. But I don't really know why. I messaged her. I asked why she changed it. If she thought maybe she wasn't doing the Tree of Life justice, like or something like that. I don't know. I hope that's not the case because the album is really good. But that was my first introduction, and then since then I was like, I don't want to say obsessed, but like very like highly intrigued. I bought like books. I was like, I have like notes and notes and notes and notes of this stuff because I was like, my whole life I was like a pastor's kid. I was like, I've never heard of this before in my life. Like, what is this? And it was shown to me through music.
Yeah, that's
You
so
know,
cool. Yeah, I did one on
I think
inspired by the chakras, the Colors album. The,
yes, I like that album a lot.
yeah, 7 songs. So each one, like starting at the first song is called Roots, and it's just talking about being, it's just my they're inspired by, roots and being starting low or being way down and then kind of working your way up, and so
Mm,
focusing on the heart on some songs, and um, just going up the systems. So
up the
they're not
spectrum.
wasn't I
Yeah.
wouldn't say about, but they're inspired by one for each chakra. So each of the seven.
Mm.
But now we got to go past them and go below them too.
Colors Part Two.
Yeah, 2 and 3. Shoot, I gotta learn the other ones. Yeah, no, I'm learning a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Again, like the cool thing with a lot of this is that naturally on this process it begins to unfold, and you're like,
Mm.
oh yeah, I know. Like I talk to friends in many different traditions, and like I know their stuff. I don't know that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a know-it-all, but they're like, oh yeah, you must read. No, not really. I haven't really read much. They're like, really?
Right.
But that's the beautiful thing of how you know there's truth to it.
Mm.
If people are coming to the same conclusions and they're not influenced by the same books, if you will. That's the thing
Right.
I've been
It's
able
just
to.
it's led by spirit. Like that's something that's like
That's a crazy because
different.
I had the same realizations on the podcast of talking to people, and I'm like, you have to know the Bible, you have to know church culture, you have to know the prophetic. They have no idea what I'm talking about, but they do, just in different words. We're
Right.
saying
Like
the
the
same, the
concept is there,
concepts are
but
the
it's not.
same, the feelings are the same, of
Mm.
like meditation, all of it's the same, but the wording, the
It's the
babble.
eyes to see and the ears to hear. It's not. It's like the message. It's not the wording. Yeah. One hundred
Yep.
percent.
If you can see the silver lining, that's what it's about. And once you do that, get ready. And that never stops though. Somebody somebody posted on my commented on my Facebook and said something, they just got there. Like it took them this journey of like just getting to the place where they can see God in everything, if you will. And
Mm.
we'll see that everything is singing its same song in harmony. Nature is already in unison, in harmony. We're just out of it, right? But once you come
Mm.
back into it, you're like, oh man, it's been here the whole time, and it was closer than I thought. I thought the angels were way out there, and they are, but their messengers are the ones. They're closer. There's some down here with us, and how
Mm.
to see them. It's closer than we thought. Everything is. And it's not a it's a one you have like one time experiences or whatever, but they open up um, to these epiphanies. But it's an ever thing. It's ever, you never like arrived. That's what you got to be watch out, like know it all. I don't, the know it
Mm,
alls are crazy, but
right. To me, I know that I'm not a know-it-all, but I also know that I know more than the average 19-year-old, if that makes any sense. I think with the age thing, I have that going against me, and also like the woman thing, I also have that going against me. So,
man, the generation, man, there's some powerhouses that are in your generation, man. Like there's people on TikTok. You probably know people I'm talking about. Just I see some people that just like pick up the work that you know, the stuff you put out there, and they take it and run with it, and they're young, you know, and doing it,
mm,
and they're incarnated here, you know, for this time, and that's how it's supposed to be, and to encourage. It's awesome that it's becoming popular. It's kind of cringe in a sense. Like part of me is because like this like the rebel, you know, you want to be different, want to have your own thing, and then that own thing is now catching on. Like the thing you helped build is catching on. You should like show up and like, yeah, I helped this or something. But it's like I had this
what's
thing
going
where I would
on?
just like abandon. Yeah, it's a podcast for a background check. I would abandon
That's pretty trippy.
right, big picture of me.
Talk about
Abandon
different
like the things
dimensions.
that you help create, but man, you gotta stick with it. And it's cool that I had to train myself to do that. You'll say, "Oh, this is popular. Yeah, y'all can have it. I'm on to something different." It's like, no,
Mm,
listen, stick with them. Like help the people
right.
that's coming up under you. That's a big thing with the old heads and the hip hop thing is them not being able to congratulate or respect the new forms of music and what people like now,
Mm,
which they're mad because they're not promoting them or listening to them or saying they like the same artist or any of that kind of stuff. Um, the older generation is supposed to help and encourage the younger, and it's so weird that we're so out of sync that we don't do that. You know?
yeah, yeah. There's this one artist that I really, really like. He says, like, do it for the elders watching over us. We're leading the movement. Watch us body this. Talking about, oh my God, what was he talking about?
Love it.
Talking about reclaiming land back as like, some someone with native ancestors. That's what he was getting at. But the entire like message is phenomenal for our generation, in my opinion.
That's it. The elders and the ancestors.
Ancestors, yes.
Yep. Because the word elder in the Bible means celestial council. It means the
Really?
stars, the council in the stars. Yeah.
Or it's like the Lion King whenever like he dies and he's like he's in the stars kind of thing.
Yep. That's how he spoke
Yeah,
to him in the
that's
stars.
wild.
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of stuff in Hollywood that's right on movies and stuff like that. Like
Mm,
they got so much forgotten. I'm saying spirituality, truth, and it's funny when people wake up to it. They start like exposing it as evil, and then they
mm,
find out it's like it's only evil when you make it evil because
mm,
there's a good version of it. Evil is only a corrupted version of something good. Like so you can't make it up. You see something that God created, called it good, which is any and everything, and then the evil has to take it and flip it, invert it.
right.
So all of the spiritual practices, all of that stuff in its conception is good. When somebody uses it for evil, then people call it evil.
Mm.
But it's
Well,
neither. It's just a thing.
Yeah. Like you said, that there's like the neutral spirits that don't have like any leaning towards the right or the left. They just have a job.
I mean, that's all of us. That's all of us. That was Jesus. Say,
mm.
yeah, I'm a good spirit. You would say that, wouldn't you?
Or you know how they have like the true neutral, the lawful evil?
Mm-hmm.
It's just all true neutral. just in different areas of light or darkness.
Like, you could be doing bad or evil thinking that you're doing good. You're just misinformed. I mean, how many of us, that's our story. But then when you find out, then what do? Oh yeah, I was hurting a lot of people. I blocked off a river.
Mm,
We was able to fish. We could fish. We had all the fish we wanted. Yeah, but there's communities downstream that they can't fish. Oh, I don't care about them. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's evil. You should
mhm.
let them eat too. You got more than enough, and you want to. So, like, once you find out the error of your way, which is awakening, you're like, hey, let me try not to do that as much. Let me try not to make people cry. Let me try not to hurt people.
To speak
Let me
from,
not use my mouth and my voice, my music to hurt people. Let me use it to help people. Is that a thing?
yeah.
That's ascension. That's awakening. And that's what we're doing. I mean, I tell you, Jesus even said it. Like, he said, like, the woman came to him, was like, good teacher, you're so good. You're good to us, good teacher. He stopped it. Hold on, I'm not good. There's one good. That's God.
Mm.
Oh, but you are God, right? And I was like, no, don't call me good. He's like, I'm choosing to be good.
To never put him above, to never worship him. That's what he never wanted.
Yeah, if he was good, that would mean he would have no free will to choose evil. And really, that's what makes you good to begin with, is the fact that you can choose, and you choose good,
Right. Like you
choose
can't be an
life, you
empathy.
know. And that's what, like, you could choose evil too, but you choose good. If you take away the choice, then you're a robot. You're a slave. You're a program, and we all are, to certain degrees, right? Until you deprogram or reprogram or deconstruct, which a lot of people is doing right now. Doesn't mean it was all of it's bad. Throw everything out, especially, like, religion or Christianity or whatever. Like, all of it's not bad. There's great stuff in there. It's got some dark stuff, some means, for sure. Get rid of that. Throw it out. But whatever religion you're trying to follow or a movement you're trying to be a part of, they got some dark stuff too. Everything and everyone has it. It's gradient. It's a contrast. And so none of them are the way, but all of them have a piece of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the people. So, but that's why we're here, to be able to have that eye to tell. Listen to the music. How does it make you feel? Listen to the
Speaking of that,
tones. Listen to the frequency. How does it make you feel? Certain frequency. I wouldn't call it good or bad. Certain stuff, like, maybe you need to cry. Maybe you need to get some. You're not gonna be
straight up,
walking around listening
just
to 432 music, trying to cry and sulk
yeah, that
from
shit
some
is real.
Slipknot or something, some Stained. Something that helps you process the flow of those emotions instead of holding it in.
Mhm.
And that's not always 432.
Sometimes that's like Adele.
Yeah, there's a reason. It caught so much flack. That was one of my biggest things of, like, knowing what I was supposed to be doing and what ministry looked like and stuff, and music, going through this, what church looked like, and then what I was being drawn to, led to, like, by God, if you will. And it didn't look like how you thought it was supposed to look, because, but I'm a little bit of both. Like, I love Jesus. Like, Jesus is my thing. Like, he's my guide. Christ, and not just that, but, like, a lot of the church, the good stuff, the church stuff brought. But, um, like, there's certain music that, oh, you can't listen to that, like Tool, and knowing how that made me feel, and certain other, like, hippie music, Nako, Medicine for the People, stuff like that.
Mm.
It's like, makes me feel connected to nature, and when I listen to it, it makes me want to get in nature. It makes me want to connect and go swimming, and you know all that kind of stuff. But they would demonize it because it wasn't Christian. It's like, hold on, this I know how it makes me feel. And I want more of the things that cater to me in my life, you know? So that's where most people are. You're not
That's the
going to
thing.
fit perfectly the mold. You never did. You're only pretending if you did for a little while. You were just pretending.
And how can people tell you things about yourself when you're you know yourself better than anybody else does, no matter if they're like the closest person to you? You're always going to have that deeper connection within yourself. So of course they would say that because they're not you.
I make people mad a lot. I do it kind of on purpose, but I like using the term your truth. Well, that's your truth. And they're like,
Mhm.
you know, this Christian is only one way. One truth is one way. And no,
That could be a
that's your truth. What you mean your truth? No such thing as your. Yes, it is. That you think that's right. I don't think that's right. But it's so convenient that their truth is the truth.
Mm.
Like how convenient and how you know, that's crazy. But it's just how it is. That's how you so blind to think that you're the only one or your group or whatever. No, I don't. There is your truth because that's true to you. It's not true to me. You know,
There's like multiple truths as well. Like one thing can be true for one person and completely not true for the other person, and that's okay. Like sometimes that discussion like needs to be had, you know, to expand like your mind and things like that. And that's how we develop more truths. Or like there's some things that people say are universal truths, like good and evil, but you could talk about that for hours, honestly.
yeah. Yep. Purple Lover says the irony is that Paul talked about that. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I learned it from. I didn't make it up. It's not my truth. I do think it's the truth, but I would never want to project, you know, on somebody, but because we all see in part. That is my truth. Like you don't know anything different. If you think that the sun is the devil, then you go to your grave thinking the sun is trying to kill you and crystals are demonic. Crystals, they like read the comment section. Just- people are
Oh my
crazy,
gosh,
man. People
that reminds
just
me of the song Blow My High. I'm sorry. I'm talking about your music a little bit more. That song is my energy transmuting music. I will put that on whenever like I know people are talking shit about me or this or that or this or that. I'll just put it on. I'll be like, yeah, I'm good.
yeah, that one was fun because like the
Ah,
first half of
I
it,
feel
it
it.
didn't sound spiritual, and then I was like, I gotta go deep, and I went like really, because I'm like, oh, I gotta do something with it. But then this the second half of it, I was like went in my how I wrote it. It's like yeah, I went dove in deep, but yeah, it's like trying to be what everybody else wants you to be. You know, it's just what it is, and you get
Yeah.
there even as a musician. You know, I've been there, and I've got it's some of it sprinkled in my music, even in the new album a little bit. But there's some like emotional stuff where it's like once you get an audience and they're used to one thing, you can't switch it up.
Mm.
You do, and it's like it's
You're
always
losing.
a gamble though, you know. But any artist, like we fell in love with this style,
Mm.
and there, a lot of fans are okay with you putting out the same thing, but you as the artist that came up with maybe something beautiful, it took a certain concoction. It took a certain energy. It took something for it to be as transformative, or people have this encounter this energy is what it is. Um, it took things to get it, and I can't push a button and I mean I can, but I won't because the reason those songs are potent is because they have you know energies and memories and all of that's in them and intellect and study and books and watching movies and the movies clips stand out to you and watching
Yeah,
documentaries and reading. There's a lot that went into it, but people were just like wanting new music, but you got to keep stepping the bar up. I do anyway. That's how I got better. There's a lot of crappy Truthseekah music out there, just so you know. Um, and it's I scrubbed a
I,
lot of it, but then I re-uploaded a lot more of it. But like the old stuff, you just trying to
it's more metal
you bought a
based.
microphone and now you can record. Like we got a song. It's like no, you don't. But
That's how you
yeah, there was
start.
a lot of that gets in there. But yeah, people
Anything else?
expecting of you. And somebody's asking what song are you talking about? It's called "Blow My High."
Blow my high.
And I said I like
Yes.
what I said something about talked about aliens and Palladians. Uh,
And,
contact with the pale. I love this bar. A contact with
oh,
the pale Palladians who resemble Ivanka. I was
is
like
that what?
Ivanka Trump. Yeah.
Oh my god, I
I
didn't.
said
I didn't
contact with
realize
the
that.
pale Palladians who resemble Ivanka. Practice tantra and my mantras
Bro.
banish monsters. Glory to the
No,
Father. Spit the Kaaba through my eye.
shout out to the Roms in the
Yeah,
Merkaba.
mine's eye. Yeah, that's one of my favorite little bars. I don't really get a lot of reaction from that. It's probably hard to
I
even
didn't
understand what I'm saying.
realize that you said Ivanka. That's
Yeah,
funny.
Ivanka Trump, Palladian.
Here in the Blow My High song. What?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
but it was
crazy.
cool because it was like the song was like complaining about making a spiritual song in a sense. The
Mm,
first half, and then the second half of the verse anyway was like, okay, here's the which I love to do, but it's hard now. It's become hard. Like I can
mm,
easily throw more words together, but I keep repeating myself, and there was like writer's block is real. When you don't want to repeat yourself. I'll say that
yeah.
because I'll start. I'll be writing a song. I'll be like halfway through a verse. I'm like, man, this is the same thing I said on a song on spiritual alchemy. A lot of
Mhm.
artists don't care. They'll throw it out, record it. Maybe people haven't heard it, but me, I'm like, I want to keep. For me as an artist, you want to keep, like you said, make something that you like to listen to because it's gonna come back to bless you. Like
Mm.
it's gonna come back to. I listen to my music. Just to be honest with you, like it's an experience for me to go back and listen to my music. I wrote that on some of it. I wrote. How did I write?
That's
There's
how I
no
am,
way I wrote
especially
that.
with
Where
like
did
my
that
inner
come from?
wisdom.
And so
You
it's not like, you know,
mean? What you
that's an
mean?
experience,
Yeah,
man. We channel that.
that's what I was just gonna say. Stop,
We channeling
because
that.
you channel it. What is it on? Even on the song channels, like the art channel, the artist channels the painting, the musician channels the song. Like, where do you think that's coming from?
We
If
got
it's not
channeling.
coming from some higher thing, it's coming from something deep within yourself, which you're channeling out, which maybe people aren't feeling that within themselves, and that's why you have to channel it, you know? Or like sometimes like I'll be like so frustrated or upset. Like the only thing I want to do is sing. The only thing I want to do is like make music because like that energy it just needs to flow, you know?
Yeah, you got to put it in something,
Mm-hmm.
create something, and then that's all energy. That's us again as spirits or as star seeds. The energy had to go. That's the energy from a star. The Earth is already receiving different energies, but to really impact it, to come to Earth and incarnate as one of the beings of Earth, to you had to take the energy of the star seed emission, coronal mass ejection from the sun to come into the earth, and the spirits that are being born. That's you're not from here. The energy had to go into something. You have to. That's what the matrix is. Literally, the word matrix in the it's a Bible word, and it means a
Really?
womb. And the womb is like it is the womb of a woman for sure, but it's the womb of the earth. It's the mind is a womb. There's many different wombs that it's actually used in context, the same word in the Bible. But it's a place of darkness, blackness, and then something goes into it, and then something comes out of it. So it's a place
Mm.
that can harvest a seed, and give birth to something. And it's not just, it's many different things, depending on the realm. Anywhere there's life, anywhere there's thought. So the star seed had to come to the earth, into the womb, through the womb of a woman, imagination, all of that, and birth something into this realm.
Mhm.
Hence the movie The Matrix, you know.
I've never seen that movie. People tell me
Oh,
I
have you
should
never
watch
seen it?
I've never seen it, no. I've seen clips of it for sure.
Yeah. No,
It's
it's worth.
the red or the blue pill. Which one do you take? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I should watch it though.
Yeah, when I had my awakening, when things started getting deep, I was like, I need to rewatch The Matrix, and then I need to watch Star Wars. And yeah,
Star Wars, I love Star Wars.
I couldn't
Hey,
watch anything without being taught and being like, I still can't. That's
I
the
was gonna
thing.
say, have you ever seen The Midnight Gospel?
Yeah,
Okay, because I was gonna mention that earlier, but while we were on the subject of death, because they cover that heavily,
yeah.
heavily. It's
Now he talks
it,
a lot about it in his podcast and clips and stuff. Duncan Trussell.
made me
Yeah, it's good.
it's amazing. I thought that you would really enjoy that on
Do
the
you
topic of
you know who that is? Duncan Trussell, the creator of the show.
Was it he who made Adventure Time or somebody else that made Adventure Time?
No, it wasn't him. He has a podcast. So I don't know if you know, but that show is it's podcast,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
and then they took podcast
The animated.
conversations and then deviated some little extra stuff, like recorded some extra stuff, so they turned their podcast into it was like that's next level to be for him to
It's
be
totally
on probably
unscripted.
mushrooms and get the idea, you know, crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, but he's one of Joe Rogan's friends, um, and he's he's a cool dude. I like him a lot. I'm gonna play this. This is just a little clip from him. You may have seen this though. He talks a lot about death. I don't know if this one was death or not, but I'll just play this right quick.
Really want to get really play around with that idea. Just think this. Everything's perfect. We live in a perfect universe. Everything that's happening is perfect. And here, if you really want to get really fucking rancid, how about this? You're perfect. Wow. And you're exactly where you need to be. And exactly what's happening to you right now is perfect. It's just exactly right. You, right now, the way you are, in all your glory or all your fucking awfulness is beautiful and perfect, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. He talks about death a lot.
That's sick. That's an affirmation for sure. For sure.
Yeah, take your podcast being somebody's television show.
Yeah. Or imagine that happening for you in the future. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool.
It's hard to imagine, but for some, I mean, it's hard to imagine your music being somebody's daily commute. It's
Yeah.
hard to imagine that I haven't done many podcasts in a while. Like I say, any. Like this is the first podcast I've done in a very long time. But for some people, like it's their wake up. Hey, Monday mornings there was usually a new podcast. Like there's no new. It's hard to fathom because we're so disconnected that people listen to your work. You know, music,
Yeah.
podcast, whatever. It's just so it's hard to fathom. Hundreds of thousands of streams and views, millions of views, you know, on all of your work that's out there over the years, you know, and it's got a life of its own. Very flattering, very such a huge responsibility. So when it comes to creating something, let's make it something special, you know,
Yeah.
because people are listening. I don't care if it's 300 people or 50 people. Or some people, you know, starting podcasts, they don't get a lot of views and stuff like that. But if it's one person, it don't matter. Like that person showing up and believes in you and needs what you're bringing and you're helping. Man, as long as we're helping, we're not hurting. So
That's how I am with my music too. Or because I don't have like a lot of listeners or things like that, but whenever I do like little shows, like I'll have like little like acoustic like bar shows or like cafe shows or things like that. I people will come up to me and be like, "Wow, that really touched me," and I'm just like I'm doing it for someone, you know what I mean? Like one time someone came up to me and they're like, I don't usually come to things like this, but like your music, it calms me down, and like now I'm having like a good time. And I was like, I'm glad. I'm glad. And I'm not there yet. I have what, like eight listeners on Spotify. One of them is me. One of them is my dad. But
One of them is me, and maybe you'll have more. No, not maybe, you will have more. Y'all go
yeah,
follow her. I'm gonna put her link in the as soon as we get off here. I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, no, it's good stuff. You just got to get creative and getting it out there, and you are. It's gonna find the people that needs to hear it.
oh yeah,
The
for
person
sure.
who needs to hear that particular song. I mean, just look at what's her name, Aniko,
Oh, stop. I love them. Oh my God,
right?
stop. Stop it. I
It,
love them.
it's
I
so weird
love.
to think about as artists, especially rappers. We're always like we create something and then we're on to the next one. But when you're independent, if you don't promote it, nobody's gonna hear it.
Mhm.
So we can't we can't just record music and drop it and you got a label and music. I do everything. And just like you say, you make your own music too. So rappers have got many people beat because they don't make their own beats; they get them from other people. But when you're making your music and you're mixing and you're mastering and you're uploading and you're doing the artwork, there's a lot to it. But by the time all that's done, the song is old to us. Like we're like, I got this new song coming out. He's like, hold on,
Yeah.
nobody's heard the one that you were like 3 weeks ago. You were like excited, but to look at people like Aniko and many other people in this generation, which is what has to happen. There's a rapper called named Dax.
I
They're
don't.
promoting the same song like every day. Like how many
Oh,
videos and how many renditions did she shoot for "Hi, I'm from outer space"? Like all kinds of ways, like
yeah.
to get it out creative ways for people to hear it. To like, oh yeah, to now that song's stuck in our heads. When it's supposed to be. The melody, the words, like amazing music.
Yes, she's amazing.
So get creative. And she got creative. I mean, even look at her attire. I mean, look at Melanie Martinez. The reason that album, stands out. It's the whole concoction. It's not just the one thing.
That's true.
So, yeah, I'm going to get my daughter to listen to this episode because she don't listen to the podcast, but she listens to Melanie Martinez, and she's gonna
Oh
love
yeah,
your
I like
your
this.
your your little book. That's so cool.
Yeah, I made it during work because yeah, I had free time and I was listening to
No,
Melanie and
that's
I was like, I need to do something.
that's cool. Put that on TikTok to her song. Did you? Have you done it?
I should though. What the
Like do
heck?
like a clip? Yeah, shoot, that'd be
Yeah,
cool. And
definitely.
maybe she'll see it and be flattered, be touched. Maybe not,
Probably.
but maybe somebody will see it. Cause it's awesome.
Maybe I'll just be happy that I posted something.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
you got to feed the machine. You got to feed it. You got to give it energy, and the energy is a video. You got to give it a video.
It's true.
Stimulate the algorithms. We did a video here. I haven't done one in a long time. I'm glad we did it. Cool to meet you. Maybe we'll do some work together. I've been working a lot. That's what I've been doing. I say I've been working on music,
Mm.
but it's a lot of work. I've been meticulously because we're making the beats now, and it's a lot of work. I'm proud of it. We got like 4 songs done, a bunch of songs started. I'm doing meditation music. I'm doing a lot of
Oh,
stuff,
it's
and yeah. So I have been working. It's not like I just haven't been doing podcasts. I've been um, working on music. So there is new music coming out very soon. I've
exciting.
been one day I'm mixing it, one day I'm recording it, one day I'm writing it, one day I'm shooting a music video. But I am sitting on some really good songs.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, and yeah, maybe we'll do something together. Maybe get me on your project, get you on mine, something like that. Do a collaboration.
That's a what?
It'd be
That'd be
fun
so cool. That'd be so insane.
for
That'd
sure.
be so.
Nah, I love it. The music that you're doing and the singing's great. It's so funny. I'm working with a new artist right now, who she's just getting started, and it just a lot of your vocals reminded me of her. Just the real like heavenly sounding, like the high pitch stuff that
Mhm.
you're able to do, and then caking the delays and reverb. I love that, and like it's real etheric. That's what I call etheric music. The ambiance that you can create an atmosphere with the music. So I love that stuff, and I've been writing some of that music myself and using
Cool.
auto tune.
Definitely.
But yeah, let's put
Oh,
our heads together. We'll come up with something. Send me anything that you got you'd like to get me on, and
yes.
we'll make something happen. And then I'll try to see planning ahead if I got something that if you'd like to jump on for my stuff.
Yes. 100%.
Sound good?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
That's. Oh my God. You guys, world better watch out.
it's
World
going
better
down.
watch out. Actually, in truth.
You got
Speak it.
this. Speak into existence. That's it. All right. Well, I enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll do it again. And new song coming soon.
Yes. Also, new songs coming out soon for me.
Yeah,
Check me out.
yeah, y'all got to go check that out. It's good. Don't sleep. And then
Don't-
comment back if you listened.
Yeah, and tell me your
Comment.
favorite song.
Yeah, do this. We're going to do this. I'm going to give something away. I'm going to give something away. This is what we're doing. No
Cool.
matter where you're listening to this at, go follow her. Tell them how to find you. Spell your name.
Find me on Spotify or YouTube. It's AGUIS. 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 So,
Arguis on Spotify. Go there. Follow her. Listen to the music. Listen to every song. And come back and comment one of the names of the songs. Come to YouTube. Comment the name of the song. And we'll pick. I'll let you pick. We'll give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We'll pick a name. Is 2 weeks too long? 2 weeks is good. 2 weeks is good. Some people sleep. Yeah, 2 weeks. And then I will let you
video.
pick the comment,
Mhm.
message me, screenshot it, and comment that they won, and we'll give them something.
What do we give them?
$100.
$100 for my songs. Come on. Come on, y'all.
That's it. I'll do it.
I'll go 50.
I'll send. Yeah, it's a contest. Everybody's not getting 100. One lucky winner after 2 weeks from today. Today is July the 11th.
You listen to my music and you get rich. That's just how it works.
Hey, listen. May the odds be
Sorry.
ever in your favor. Hey, listen, promo, get it. And we're going to see them numbers go up. And on top of that, you're going to be blessed to go listen to her music anyway, because it's good stuff. So,
Yes.
all right. Thank you, my friend. We'll do it again.